A financial technology company up 78% in the last 6 months. Let's dive into this week's CEO series. Today, we are excited to have Kent Landvatter, the CEO of FinWise Bancorp, with us today. Thank you so much for coming on our channel.
It's great to be here, Bridget. I'm excited to do this podcast, and I've been watching your stuff for a while, and it's really fun to be here today.
Oh, wonderful. Love that. Well, let's talk about what is FinWise and how long have you guys been around?
Well, the company actually started in 2000. I came in 2010, and I have always been interested in the nexus between technology and banking. And I thought there would be a real interesting play for this company to move in more of a fintech side of the business. And that's what we did, standing it up fully in 2016 and been doing it for 8 years now.
Yeah, that's great. And you went public just a couple of years ago, is that right?
3 years ago, last month, actually.
Your stock has seen quite a lot of success in the last year. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. But first, let's talk more about what your company does. So, who are some of the customers that you serve?
One of our primary focuses, as I mentioned, is fintech business, where we provide fintechs with banking solutions. They could be lending, payments, deposits, what have you. And we also have traditional lines of business. SBA, we have a national SBA 7A program. We have national commercial leasing, point of sale. But our main focus right now is on the fintech side.
There seems to be a lot of growing competitors in this space too. Talk about that a little bit. Like, what's the market like for fintech financing?
That's a really good question. There have been a few banks in the space that have fallen out lately because of regulatory oversight concerns that they may have seen. It's quite difficult to stand up a bank in this environment to appropriately manage the fintech in a way that's safe for the customers and compliant with all the regulations and so forth. So we started in 2016 building out a real strong system and a scalable API-driven infrastructure that collects all the data that we need to properly oversee these partners. And we have a significant staff. In fact, about 40% of our staff is completely focused on the management of these relationships. When I think of the competitor space out there, I really think of those banks that are really doing a significant focus and dedicating the appropriate resources. The exciting thing for us is there isn't a lot of competition right now because this is a difficult product to stand up. So competition for us, we actually almost look more at some of the other banks in the space as collegial participants in the space because we're trying to all do it right and make certain we're providing the right services in the right way.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more. What about FinWise makes you really proud to be the CEO of this company? What kind of sets your business practices apart from others in this field?
From a strategic positioning, I think it was our early focus on let's make certain if we're getting into space to invest appropriately and make certain that the tools are in place and working to oversee these fintech partnerships in a way that makes the banking regulators happy and serves the customer well. For us, that's been a strategic thing that's contributed to the success that I'm very proud of. But I think what I'm most proud of is the team that we've been able to assemble. We've got, I would say, hundreds of years of experience in this space from people all over the country who are part of the FinWise team, and it's their success really that has stood up these strategies and visions of the company and done so in a very, very profitable way for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been profitable for your investors too, especially this past year. Your stock price went from trading around $8 earlier in the year to now up around $18. Really good payoffs. So again, a good investment for investors out there. What's behind the success in your stock price?
There are a few things, and I can't pretend to guess them all, but I think what it is we've been telling the same story for since we've been public, and we continue to execute on that story. So we do what we say we're going to do, and I think because of some of the uncertainty around the regulatory oversights of some of the banks that have not been able to navigate the waters as well. there's been some uncertainty, but as you know, we've been in the space for 8 years now, and we kind of know what we're doing, and we're very, very focused and on regulatory compliance. I think that message is getting out to stockholders. Another thing too that we're very excited about. So over the last couple of years, we have been building out infrastructure to further expand our fintech offerings. Offering basically a payment. We've developed a payments hub which we call Money Rails, but it basically will move money on all the different platforms, ACH, FedNow, RTP, and so forth. It will move money for our fintech partners, and it's API driven so that they can customize things on their side to optimize it. So we think that's going to be an exciting add for 2025. We've also added card sponsorships where we do debit cards, credit cards, and so forth for our fintech partners. And finally, we're expanding our balance sheet by adding what we call credit enhanced balance sheet, but it's basically a way for us to provide some of our balance sheet or more of our balance sheet to some of our fintech partners that want to put loans or deposits here in a safe way.
Let's talk about the books just a little bit more. Still considered, I guess, a small cap company, but
Mhm.
doing well in revenue. Let's talk about some of those logistics that our investors care about so much.
Since we've gone public, the tangible book value has grown significantly every year. And when compared to our bank peers and when compared to fintech brands, we've done really well. And so our tangible book value continues to grow, even over the last year or two, where we've been focused on building out these additional products and the people to support those products. We've been very profitable. We have very respectable return on assets compared to other banks and net interest margins. So those key factors, I think, are really building some excitement around the stock.
Yeah, and I think, economically as well, it feels like right now is a time when people are really into the financial sector. I think we saw right after the election, that whole industry, the financial industry, kind of see a little bit of a boost in the market as well. Does that make you excited about the future in any way?
Oh, yes. Well, even with before the change in the administration, I felt very excited about the future because there are really two sides of banking. There's a traditional that everybody knows about and have done a great job of serving communities and so forth. But there's been this evolution, I believe, over the last 10, 15 years where people have moved more and more to online banking. To be part of that wave is very exciting. And so I think as investors look more and more at banks, they can almost put them in two categories of traditional banks that they are used to seeing, but then these new fintech or technology enabled banks that are delivering products to consumers and businesses in a much more convenient way, a much more useful way, and actually providing greater access to banking services.
I think we've had a really good conversation about your company, but I do want to end today by just talking about what are you most excited about in the next year ahead and the future of your company, even beyond the next year. Do you see the growth trajectory still continuing for FinWise?
I am so excited about it. These new products that we're adding are going to add different profit drivers that diversify the current revenue streams we have and build our balance sheet out so we can grow more effectively on the balance sheet. But once again, just riding the wave of this innovative space to me right now is very exciting. And when you consider going back to your earlier question about the competitive landscape, it's hard to get in this barrier. There's a big moat around our business and other banks like ours. And so there's a huge addressable market. And I think being able to be first in line for those markets is very exciting. Plus, it's just fun to see the way products evolve and create more access and convenience for people.
We definitely appreciate the convenience for
Yeah.
sure. Well, thank you so much, Kent. It's been great talking to you. And thank you for joining us for the conversation today. We hope you'll check out more of our CEO series right here on MarketBeat's channel. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And as always, happy investing.